listening to the legendary Vinyl Esquire.
Listen to the Chillout show, which is #1 in New York City.
Vinyl Esquire.
Yo, Chuck, you're not finished, baby. A little more, a little more.
You're now listening to the legendary Vinyl Esquire.
The original cat from the BX. If it wasn't for this dude, there would be no Hot 97. Let's just say it straight out.
Wow.
One of the first DJs on the radio to play hip-hop in New York City.
Yes, sir.
My man, the legendary DJ Chuck Chillout,
What up, Sid?
is on the set.
Hello world, I want to welcome you to Vinyl Esquire, the podcast that delivers culture, truth, music. Would you join me, please, in welcoming DJ Rip?
Hello world, I want to welcome you to Vinyl Esquire, and my name is DJ Rip. And Vinyl Esquire is the DJ podcast that's dedicated to the DJ culture and uplifting our legends. And without further ado, I want to go ahead and get right into it. I have the privilege to interview the DJ, the producer, the legend from the Bronx. I want to welcome to Vinyl Esquire, my man, DJ Chuck Chillout.
Yes, sir. We here, B. We here, bro. We here. What's good?
Chuck, how you doing, man?
I'm chilling like Bob Dylan, son.
I want to thank you for being on Vinyl Esquire. I want to thank you for allowing me to interview you and dig deep into your history as a legendary DJ from New York.
Yes, sir.
Let's get right into it. Tell me what or who made you want to be a DJ.
Well, it was two people that messed up my life. No, three. I can't remember the first cat. My mom's had booked a party, and he had the turntables there, and he kept playing Brass Construction Moving. You know, and that was one of my favorite joints from back in the day, because Brass Construction was the shit.
Right.
So next thing you know, the whole night I just stared at him. I didn't move. I must have been 13, 14. Like, what in the hell is this guy doing? You know what I mean? So,
Right.
To the next thing, like about a year later, my uncle bought a turntable. You know, back then, it was a bunch of disco records. Disco nights, good times, and all it wasn't too many rap records spinning. It was a couple. You know what I mean? But it was underground, like real big underground. Now, my uncle hated rap records. The only rap group he liked was Houdini. So when I used to come over to the crib, I'm playing break beats, and he's looking at me like I'm crazy. But he played all the disco stuff. That's how I got to know George Benson, Shaka Khan, Brass Construction, GQ, and so on and so on. LTD, he was, Franz Joulet and all that kind. He played all that stuff.
Right.
I used to be like, I don't want to hear that. You got to listen to this. So we battling in the basement. So he was the second person that messed up my life with listening to them records. And then there was a guy in my neighborhood named DJ Breakout that played number break beats.
Absolutely.
And so I saw him last night. I said, every time I see him, I say, you fucked up my life. And he started laughing.
So what year would you say that this is right now?
Probably 1976, 77. So Breakout would do this place called Eden Wall Community Center. He in there playing Blow Your Head, SWAT, Apache. And I was like, yo, what is going on here? Like, yo, man.
Right.
But he, all the break beats. So that's how people don't understand. That's where rap started. We would take records and cut it up, little 30 seconds of a beat. There was no BPMs back then, and you had to buy a whole bunch of records and play as many breakbeats as you can. And then first MC grabbed the mic, which was Coke LaRock, and he said, "You rock and you don't stop," and that's what gave birth to the MC. But the DJ is the one that did all the breakbeats, that created the rap. People don't know that.
Right.
Came late, and the rapper came later.
Right. So we're talking about around 1976 right now. You're talking about...
Yeah, 76, 78, 79, 80. That's when, it was underground in the parks. And then, because a lot of people don't know, the first rap record was King Tim III by the Fatback Band. It wasn't Rappers Alike. King Tim III by the Fatback Band.
Right, on Spring Records. Right.
Yeah, then came Crash Crew, We Don't Want to Be Left Behind. You know what I mean? All we want to do is blow your mind one more time. They used the Freedom beat, and then came Rappers Alike.
Right.
You know what I mean?
From your perspective, it's about 1976. Aside from your uncle giving you inspiration, you had DJ Breakout. This is the Bronx, so the North Bronx. You would say, as a whole, DJ Breakout would have been the DJ that inspired you to want to be a DJ.
Yeah, but see, no, it was my uncle and his other cat first. I watched them first, but Breakout took it to another level by playing their break beats.
Right. Okay. Got you.
Because the shit was unheard of. Because the shit was very territorial. You couldn't go to the South Bronx where Bambaataa was. You couldn't go down there if you knew somebody. You couldn't go to Harlem because that's where Flash was at. And the Northeast Bronx was Breakout. So by me knowing him, I got to meet Bambaataa and I got to meet Flash because the shit was territorial. A lot of people don't know that. You just couldn't go in other people's neighborhoods and act like you was. If you didn't know nobody there, you get beat the fuck up. That's how it was.
Right. I got you.
You know, if your cousin was there, you know, you got a pass, or you knew somebody, you got a pass. There was no popping up there and hanging out. No, that was unheard of. You would get beat up, robbed, all that.
So what year would you say that you started DJing? You said 76 was the motivation, right?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say 78 when I got my first turntable. I bugged my mom to me and one of my homies. We started our own little crew first. You know, he had BSR turntables with the thing in the middle of the turntable, the spindle.
Right, absolutely.
So they was plastic. So we used those at first. I bugged my mom to death that she bought me some 1200. No, not 1200. She bought me some SO 2000. You know what I mean? Because you know, growing up in my neighborhood, man, it was either you was robbing people or you was selling drugs. You know what I mean? But that DJ thing kept me off the corner, kept me out of trouble. So I bugged her to death. She bought me my first pair of SL 2000.
So you didn't go snatch no equipment in the blackout, huh?
No, like a fool. I didn't. Yo, let me tell you, man, that night was so crazy. The moon was out, but it didn't seem like a blackout because the moon was mad bright that night. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the next morning, everybody had new everything.
Right.
New sneakers, new moped, new televisions, new furniture. And I was like, damn, I ain't even think like that. You know what I mean? But I saw people running down the street with all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? But I wasn't even thinking like that because I couldn't bring that shit back to my crib. My mother would be like, where you get that from?
Right,
you know
right,
I mean?
absolutely.
So I wasn't even putting myself in that type of heat.
Right.
There's no way in the world I'm going to explain that shit. You know what I mean? So don't even do it to yourself. You know
Absolutely.
What I mean?
So we talking about 78, you got your first turntables. What was your first DJ name?
Well, I went by DJ Steele first.
Okay.
That was the first thing I went by, yeah. And then everybody kept, yo, Chuck, yo, man, chill out. So that stuck with me. So I used that name. But the first anybody from my neighborhood knows me as DJ Steele at first.
So why was they telling you to chill out? Chuck, chill out.
In my neighborhood, bro, you had to defend yourself.
Oh, got you. Okay, all right. So you was good. You was good with the hands, is what you were saying.
Yeah, you had to, bro. Every day we had to fight. Every day was a fight. The last day of school was the ultimate fight. But every day you had to fight, from the 5th grade all the way up to high school. It was like that.
Got you.
Especially in my neighborhood. Yeah, it was every day they was fighting. But the last day of school, they attacked the teachers with eggs.
Wow.
Shit was crazy. I look back at that. I look back at my neighborhood. I said, I had some wild people in my neighborhood. Yeah, my neighborhood, me, Flex grew up. He'll tell you it was wild. It was wild.
So let's talk about that early time frame. We're talking 78 is when you started. You said you were DJ Steele, and then later on became Chuck Chillout. I always thought that your name was one of the dopest DJ names, Chuck Chillout. It just sounds fly. So talk to me about that early time frame. You clearly been a staple in hip hop and a staple in New York radio for decades and decades. But talk to me about that beginning time frame of you being a DJ in the late 70s, early 80s.
Well, you had to and growing up in that neighborhood, for you to be a DJ, you had to make a name for yourself. So you basically played it anywhere you could, in the driveway, park. If you had because like Oliver, like we had 3 parks in my neighborhood, but you played and people would come out and listen to you. If you made a name there and played the right shit, people would talk about you. One park was Oliver Park that I still go back and do an old timers thing there every year. This year we had about 3,000 people out there. I had Slick Rick and Mr. Cheeks out there. It was crazy. And Me, Red, and Flex came out there. It was about 3,000 people in the street.
Nice.
We do it every year. But the three parks was Olinville, the Valley, and PS 21. Now the Valley Park was a big, huge park, and every Sunday somebody would come out there and set up and play. So you talking 4,000 to 5,000 people in a park listening to break beats and somebody on the mic rapping. But if you played in that park and you rocked out, you made a name for yourself. So it was, seeing that, I said, I gotta get in this park and play. So I played there maybe once or twice, made a little name for myself. One thing, matter of fact, that's where I met Jimmy Spicer there in 1979 in that park.
Wow.
And he told me he was the cat that made super rounds. I was get the fuck out of here. It was him and MC Count Chillout was standing next together. So them dudes sounded like they was Count Dracula when they used to rap. You know what I mean? They sounded like Count Dracula. So I used to always tease them. But that's where I met Jimmy Spicer. That was 1978 or 79. I met him.
Yeah,
I met him in that park.
Yeah, rest in peace, Jimmy Spicer.
Yeah, that was my dude. Man. But that on a Sunday in the summer in the Valley Park, that was the place, Olinville Park. I remember one time I was playing in Olinville. I had about 1,500 people in the park. They was dancing. I was playing this song called El Coco, Let's Get It Together. You ever heard that song?
Yes, sir. I got it. Yep.
So, back then, you had to steal electricity. So you would plug into the light pole, the city light pole.
Right.
That's how we did it. So I got the park rocking. Next thing you know, the cops come up in the park and lock me up. That's what you locked me up for. I'm disturbing the peace, and I ain't got a permit. So everybody was mad and booed the cops. It was crazy. But that was a true story. But
were you Chuck Chillout at that time?
Yeah, I was DJ Steelin.
DJ Steel, okay.
Steelin. But I was still moving around, and I played in Bronx River at Twin Parks. I did that. So, you moving around doing what you got to do. And then I'm one of my homies that I grew up with named Vincent Davis. He said, yo, I'm going to do some scratch records. So that was the label, which was called Entertainment. He lived right down the block from me, and next door to him was Pumpkin.
Wow, okay.
So he goes, man, I don't like that. We need to change that name. Chuck Chillout. And so that stuck with me, because like I said, the neighborhood was ill, and I said, fuck, I'm going to call myself Chuck Chillout. So now I changed the name of DJ Chuck Chillout. So then we did 2-3 Break at the Hip Hop and Wax Volume 1, Reg did Volume 2, and the Born Supreme Allah was me too, but that was Volume 3, because we were doing records with the P-Boy, and so Vincent was like, you can't have too many records with the same name, people won't buy them. So we came up with that name, DJ Born Supreme Allah. That was me too. That was the alter ego.
So you got with him and Vintertainment, that was the label that put out the B-Boys, right?
Yeah, 2-3 Break, all the hip hop, and then Vincent was now by this time, people was trying to find a way to get into the music business. So he put an address on the record. That was the worst thing he ever did. Now he's getting all kinds of shit coming to the crib.
Right, demos and everything.
Yeah, so here's another jewel I'm about to drop. Now, there was 3 guys from Parkchester. They was called 3 the Hard Way. And we did a song. They sampled the same beat that Eric B sampled for You Got Soul. So they beat us to the punch. So, but that record was called No. That record was dope too, but once Eric B and them came out with that, they killed them. And 2 of the other guys got frustrated and quit. But Joel was a part of the group, which is everybody knows Joe Ski Love.
Right, right.
So Vincent was like, yo, we need to make your own record. So he kept talking about, everybody had these little dances back then, the Feli dance, the Pee Wee dance.
Right.
So he went to the studio and did Pee Wee Herman. Now Vincent is getting unbelievable mail now. It's piles of demos in the crib. So I said, man, how come you don't listen to none of this stuff? It was a big bag of tape. So I said, let me listen to some of this stuff. So I started listening to it. I stuck my hand in the bag and we pulled out Key Sweat. And the rest of this is true story.
Wow.
True story. It was some demo tape that Keith had, but it wasn't I wanted. It was something else. But Vincent liked the way he sounded, and then he took him in the studio. I was there when he recorded that first album. Yeah, because after Vincent put out Joeski Love, and then Joeski Love, they got a deal through Elektra, and then Elektra gave Vincent a production deal, and then he put out Key Sweat, and he also put out In Touch.
Wow, that's amazing. That's dope.
Yeah,
So,
that's
so,
dope.
so before we get in, because it sounds like we're going into the mid '80s here. Before we go too far, we were talking about you in the park. You becoming DJ Chuck Chillout. You recording these records with the B Boys, 2-3 Break, and a few
Yeah,
of these records.
we did Cut and Herbie and Rock the House and did all that.
Right. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about. Let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about radio. So it looks like you started on 98.7 Kiss FM in 1982. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So how'd you get into radio from DJing in the park? How did you get there?
See, with all this, when all this was going on, you know, all the rap stuff was hot in the neighborhood with the kids. So, but they wouldn't play that shit on the radio. They were scared to play it. So, Mr. Magic was the first one to come on the radio first. He was on HBI. So by this time, you know, when it gets cold, you got to find a place to go. So now you're inside. They had a spot called Disco Fever, T Connection, Broadway International, Stardust Ballroom. So now you got to find a way to get into them spots and make a name for yourself. You know what I mean? So everybody was going to the Fever. The Fever was like, there was 2 spots were like the ultimate, no, 3 spots. You had the Fever, the Roxy, and Encores in Queens. That's where you want to make a name for yourself and try to make records, you had to hang out in those spots. Because that's where you saw Flash, you saw Curtis Blow, you saw Russell Simmons, you saw LL Cool J, you saw Denzel Washington hanging out in these spots. So this was, now you're talking 81, 82. Now I think the reason why hip hop went nationwide and around the world was there was a club called the Roxy's on 18th Street where, you know, they put it in that movie, The Peace Street. That club there will hold 3,000 or 4,000 people on a Friday. So now in there, I met the world. Everybody was in there. Mick Jagger, David Bowie, Madonna, Herbie Hancock. They all were hanging out in there because they all were hearing about this rap shit. And they was trying to get a grip on what it was. The only person that took a grip to it in the beginning was Herbie Hancock. That's where he grabbed DST out of there and then rocketed.
Right.
So one night I'm in there, the cat comes up to me in red, named Barry Mail. And he was like, yo, man, I want to put this rap shit on the radio. Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he hands me the card, and it said general manager of RKO 98.7 Kiss FM. And I looked at the shit. I said, yeah, whatever. And I put it in my pocket. And now the next day, Red calls me, yo, shit is real. I said, get out of here. So I went down there. I must have went down there about 3 or 4 or 5 times. One time the receptionist went somewhere. I got up and walked down the hallway and went looking for him. So I go in the back. I see Bob Slade and Chuck Leonard standing there. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
Right.
So I said, where's Barry Mail's office? Oh, right there, yo, blood to the left. Knock on the door. I knock on the door. He opens the door. And he goes, I was wondering when you was going to walk back here. I says, wow. And then he took me to the program director, which was Tony Q. A lot of people don't give this dude the right credit for putting me, Red, Shep Pettibone, Tony Humphreys. He was a cat that put us all on the radio. He gave us a career. Tony Q. That's my dude for life. Changed my life.
And when you say Red, you talking about DJ Red Alert.
Yeah, and Jazzy J was on there too. He had us all on there. So I was a cat that believed in the shit. So what happens is I leave a tape. I left a tape of me cutting up some shit. So before I get home, my mother goes, somebody named Tony Q called. I said, excuse me? So when I called him back, he goes, yo, man, I want to put you on once a month. I said, get out of here. And the rest is history.
So he called you before you even got home, so a couple hours.
Yeah, because Tony Q was a young dude. He was like maybe 21, 22, and he was from the Bronx, so he knew what the fuck it was.
Right, he was in tune with the music.
Yeah, he knew.
And the
scene. He knew what the fuck it was. He knew what it was.
So talk to me a little bit about that radio. So now we're talking, we're in the early 80s here. Now you're on the radio. What time was you on? How did all of that play out?
So, he put us on rotation. And I was on once a month. It was me, Red, Latin Rascals, Jazzy J. We was rotating once a month. But Jazzy wanted to get paid, so they wasn't paying nobody back then, so they took him off. But I knew what it was, because the whole New York was playing this fucking mix. It was crazy. Friday night, Saturday night, Kiss FM and BLS was off the chain.
Right.
So I knew what it was. You ain't gotta pay me. I know what it is. I'll make my money in the street doing the club. So now, I'm building my name up. I'm doing parties, here and there. And then by us being on the radio, you have people that came in from out of town and they would make copies of our tapes, and them tapes went worldwide. So now I'm getting booked to go to England, getting booked to go to Paris, getting booked to, to go to different cities around in New York. I mean, not in
the country.
USA,
Right.
in the country. So I'm getting booked in different spots because tapes travel. You know what I mean? So now here comes the record, more rap records coming. Because now they have a vehicle and an avenue to promote themselves.
Right.
Because, the mix shows were playing the rap songs. Them songs didn't get in the rotation. They went through the mix shows first. So now here comes the Run DMCs. Here comes the Curtis Blows. Here comes the Fat Boys. Here comes Nucleus. Here comes LL Cool J. Here comes KRS-One, Scott LaRock, and Boogie Down Productions, Joe Ski Love, and the list goes on and on and on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because when we first started doing it was probably 3 or 4 rap songs. Then we had to mix our show and play Cool in the Gang, Fresh, a couple other nervous songs, Mantronics and Madonna. We had to mix it up. But once some cats caught wind of me, Red, and Molly and Magic on that radio, and they playing rap records, then everything, the whole thing changed. It was an explosion of records coming. I was getting, my mail at the station was about 200 records a week.
Wow.
150, 200. Yeah, it was, my mail was crazy. So me and Red would go in the back and listen to certain records, and it was dope. We would play it. You know what I mean? So that's when Duty James, Audio 2, MC Light, Heavy D, it just started evolving and doing more things, because now you got 3 or 4 labels to 30 or 40 labels. Independent labels,
right,
was putting out rap, and they was getting their play, and they were selling like back then. If you played one of your records, you was guaranteed to sell over a course of period of about 6 months. You might have sold 10, 15,000 copies because we was playing your records, because the kids would go out and buy it. So that mix show, and then if you was lucky enough to get in rotation, then you was a rap artist that had a major deal, like Run DMC.
Right.
Was in rotation. I never forget when Vincent gave me the 2-track of Joe Ski Love. So probably comes in the room, oh, you playing tapes with songs on it? What's going on? I said, nah, Barry, this is the song. I said, this is Pee Wee Herman. He looked at me, he didn't know what it was.
Right.
And he walked out the room. So when I played the song, phone was going bananas. Now, Monday morning, he calls my phone. Yo, what was that song you played? Because the kids keep calling up and asking for it. Yo, man, that was that Pee Wee Herman song. So he goes to me, I will never, ever again question you on a record.
So, okay, let me get this straight. Magic and Molly Mallers on one station, and you and Red Alert are on another. So,
no, yeah.
Yeah, so all these records are coming out. And prior to that day, they didn't question what you and Red played. You had the freedom to break records.
We did what we wanted. Play what we wanted.
Yo, that's lovely. So I'm assuming you broke all those artists that you had mentioned before.
All those motherfuckers back in the day.
Right.
I broke every last one of the niggas.
So would you say that at that point, so we're talking, 82, 83, 84, like mid-80s, right? So
yeah.
Would you say that New York radio, your show in particular, but New York radio was probably the most important thing to the industry and to the world at that time?
Oh, believe that.
How did you end up transitioning or including being a recording artist to your repertoire of being on the radio?
See, now when it went from like the records being played to certain artists coming with records. So now I'm watching Molly and Magic. Molly and Magic started producing their own shit and playing their own shit on the radio. They became smart. So all them artists, Bismarck, MC Shan, all that shit came. That was Molly and Magic and Fly Tide produced their own shit and played it. So now I see, the other day I was talking to Tyrone. I see Molly on the cover. Yeah, he was in a, I don't know if you remember this In Control album. He was in a plane.
Absolutely.
I saw that shit. I said, get the fuck out of here. I said, they giving DJs deals now? Okay, all right. Now I got to step it up. So there was a cat around the corner from me named Cool Chip. Because now I was putting out stuff too. I put out the Dishmaster, Small Time Hustler, You remember them? Remember them?
I do, absolutely.
Yeah, I did that song. I did Deuces is Wild, 5 times around. I did that, but I didn't get I didn't get my major deal till I did the Cool Chip stuff. So I go in the studio, I make the song. Now you got to take it and go around in the label. So they like the song. Now they telling me, yo, you should do a compilation album. Nah, I don't want to do no compilation album because I don't feel like bugging and begging motherfuckers to come do a song.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that shit is a hassle in itself. So they finally let me do it with Chip, and that's how we did Rhythm is the Master album with Rhythm is the Master, I'm Large, No DJ Like Chuck, and all them other songs on the album.
That was in the later 80s, right?
Yeah, that was 89.
89, right.
88, 89.
What was the difference between Rhythm is the Master, the Cool Chip, that project, versus when you were doing records before with the B-Boys and the 2-3 break and those particular records?
Oh, the difference was the money. This was an independent label, was giving you a couple $100, and the majors was giving you for a single deal $25-30 grand. That's the difference.
Oh, okay. There's a 9-day difference.
Yeah, big 9 day. And then when you did an album, your budget was $300,000 for the first album. Then when you did the second one, you got $500,000. I'm doing a major deal, but now the problem with the major deal is they don't tell you if you don't sell no records, your ass is dropped. So they don't tell you that shit. They put you out there. They like your song. They promote it. If that album don't sell, you out the door, bro. But no one tells you this shit. You got to figure it out yourself.
So this was in 1989.
I'm gonna tell you how I found out. There was another cat we was both signed to a production deal through Polygram, and he started beefing. And I was like, "Yo, bro, I don't think you should go up there and do that." Man, he didn't listen to me. He went up there. They dropped his ass right there and then. I said, yo, I'm shutting the fuck up. I'm not saying nothing.
Wow. So this was in 89 on
89.
Mercury Polygram, right?
And they were like, look, pal, you're not really selling no. Matter of fact, you'll drop.
Wow.
Like,
just like that.
Just like that. Because he went up in there beefing.
Okay, so at this point, you put out a record, Masters of the Rhythm, with yourself and MC Cool Chip. You got a single, I'm Large.
The first single was Rhythm is the Master.
Rhythm is the Master. So now you got a video and the whole nine, right?
Yeah.
But wait a minute. How did you deal with being on the radio and now having a record out?
Yeah, well, it was crazy because it got to the point now I'm getting more shows and I'm running around, and then I was doing like when I was making tapes, and then I would let Flex fill in for me. That because he was the Deuces Wild DJ. I was trying to groom him and his group come up.
So Funkmaster Flex was in a group called Deuces Wild.
Yeah.
Got you.
So he was in that group, and I was grooming him along that way, but the two guys in the group didn't understand what was going on, but he did, right? So, I'm putting the album out, I'm doing what I got to do. So I get a call one year from Frankie Crocker when he's back in BLS. He goes, yo, man, I want to interview you and Chip. I said, look, Frank, I love you. I respect you. I said, I can't go over there and talk on that mic. If you interview Chip, I'll come. Out of respect for you, because you one of my idols growing up as a kid.
Absolutely. Right. So you're on Kiss FM, and Frankie Crocker was on WBLS.
So, yo, I can't talk on the mic, but I'll come.
Right.
Because I got love for you and respect for you, but I can't talk on that mic. That'll be a problem. So he's laughing. So I get over there. He turns the mic on. Yeah, I got Chuck Chillout over here.
Oh,
yo.
Wow. Okay.
Yo, my phone went off. My people went off. Like the world was coming to an end. What you doing over there? Da, 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 da. Like, yo, there was a certain program director there. I'm not going to mention his name. He didn't understand it. He didn't care. He didn't want to hear nothing. I said, I was promoting the album, and I came over there out of respect for Frankie, because he was playing it. And you wasn't playing it, but Frank was playing it. So homie didn't understand it, didn't like it, and he suspended me for a month.
Got you.
Behind that shit. But it was all good. So once Frank caught wind of the shit, Frank said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Matter of fact, you ain't got to go back over there. You come over here and I'll put you on Friday and Saturday. I was like, what? Now he goes, I want you to talk and you bring a DJ and we do what we got to do. I said, all right. So now I brought Flex with me. He was spinning and I was talking. He wanted me to be an air personality.
Right. Versus DJing on the air.
Yeah, so that's when I brought Flex over there and Frankie moved Marley out.
So now, all right. So we're talking about 1990. Is that right?
You talking like 91.
So now you and Flex.
Like 90, 91. Like, yeah.
So you leave Kiss in '89, and then now you're joining WBLS.
It was more like 90, like February.
Got you. So now you're joining BLS as an on-air personality. You got Flex as your DJ.
I'm on that Friday, and he gave me 2 nights. Before Kiss, I only had 1 night. I was on 2 nights.
So obviously now you're on BLS. You got a record out. So what else was happening around this time?
Well, the clubs was you had the clubs, you had Latin Quarters, you had the Fever. So you still had to go out in the street and do what you had to do, because the street was always the pulse of the music. I always used that to keep me grounded. Still to this day, I listen to what people say about certain songs. There's a lot of songs on the radio. I mean, that's not being played on the radio, but they playing in them clubs still to this day. You know what I mean? Because
right,
a lot of DJs are scared to play the shit. If I hear something that's dope, I'm gonna play it. They still don't really bother. They still don't bother me on certain records. I don't take it, and I'm not gonna play like Pop Smoke or nothing. You know what I mean? But if Nicki Minaj got something that's dope, I could play it. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely.
A 50 Cent, I could play. You know what I mean? I could do those. But I can't play Pop Smoke on BLS. I can't do that. That's not their target audience.
And the amazing thing is, you're talking about you're currently on BLS still to this day.
I'm on there in Power 88 in Vegas.
Wow. So let's back up a little bit. So around this, so now we're early 90s, you're on BLS as an on-air personality. And around that time, you also became a VJ for the legendary Video Music Box, correct?
Yes, sir. I was doing that too.
So talk to me about Japan. What does Japan mean to you?
Well, when I used to do my show at Kiss, there was, I can't remember the Japanese dude's name, but it was him and a dude named Rob Crocker was in the back doing a show on a station called FM Yokohama. I can't remember the dude's name, but he comes up to me. He goes, "Yo, would you mind doing a 3-hour mix on a Japan station?" I looked at him. I said, "Are you for real?" He goes, "Yeah." He said, "I put it on there." The name of the station was called FM Yokohama. That was the name of the station. So I give him the 3-hour mix. Man, listen. Next thing you know, I see Run DMC all over there. Next thing you know, I see Curtis Blow going, Houdini, Fat Boys. I was like, all because of that shit.
So would you say that you single-handedly broke hip-hop in Japan?
Yeah. That was the hip-hop. That was the station. Yeah. FM Yokohama, that was the station.
That's incredible. Incredible.
Yeah, that was like 1995.
Got you. So tell me what kept you busy in the 90s. Because, I mean, hold on before you comment. We started the interview. You said your life got ruined in about 76, right? And
Listen to them break beats in the club.
Right. And through this transition, you're in the park, you put out records, you convert to Chillout, you get on the radio, you're on 2 radio stations, you're everywhere, and then you put out your own music, your own album. So what kept you busy throughout all of the 90s? Was it radio?
Yeah, because we were doing clubs, and we'll go out on certain tours. I went out on the Fresh tour and DJ. I did a couple dates with the Raising Hell tour with Run DMC. But that Fresh tour was bananas. It was Run DMC, Houdini, the Fat Boys, Curtis Blow, and Nucleus. That was like a 60-city tour, and every night was 25,000 fans every night.
Incredible.
I ain't never in my life seen shit like that. It was crazy.
Wow. You've, as I had mentioned before, you've had an amazing career in New York radio and radio, period. Decades. You're talking 82 to now, 2019. It's an incredible radio run. So aside from that, I know you've worked on, a lot of other projects and worked with a lot of other artists. You've worked on, events and music festivals and the Essence Festival.
Yeah, I did. There was a time period where I wasn't on the radio. Like, I sat out for like 5 years. I think it was 2000, 2005, because the new PD came in BLS. He fired everybody. So, and then BLS didn't want to play no more rap. And that's what created the Hot 97.
So BLS wanted to become an urban AC. They wanted to play old school, like R&B.
They didn't want to play no rap, period. All of a sudden, did a press conference and said, "We're not playing no more rap." That was the worst shit he ever did.
Wow.
You know what I mean? That was the worst shit he ever did.
And that's what launched Hot 97, basically.
That's what created Hot 97.
Wow.
That's what created it. Yeah.
Aside from, all of these amazing projects that you've worked on over the years, talk to me about something a little bit more recently that you've worked on. Talk to me about the VH1 film, the breaks.
Yeah. So the funny shit about that. So Dan goes, yo man, what year was that? Dan told me about that shit. That must have been 2000. When he first came to me, it was like 2010. Yo, I'm putting this movie together. Think you want to be a part of it? Dan, whatever you need me to do, man, I'm there for you. You know. So I really didn't pay no mind. So 3 or 4 years comes by. You know, I hit Dan. We talk every now and then. So he calls me out the blue one morning, like 8 in the morning. Yo, I'm ready. Do you remember that movie thing I was telling you about? I said, yeah, man. He said, I need you to go down and read. I said, read what? I ain't no actor. I said, just go. So, the left side of the brain is like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's 8 o'clock in the morning. And, and the right side of the brain is going, yo, you better go. Yo, bro, I almost didn't get up that morning. I remember laying in the bed. And that had to be God, my brother. God goes, get out of the bed now.
Right.
So I get out the bed, I drive downtown. So I'm in a room full of people. Nobody's smiling, everybody's screw faced the fuck up. So this one dude I'm looking at, I go, yo, I know this dude from. He looks mad familiar. And the Wire was on there. While the breaks was on, the Wire was on, and Wire was the hottest thing on television. The dude that directed the breaks was a director for The Wire, and he was in the Wire. So I said to him, yo, you was in The Wire, right? He started laughing.
Right.
Damn, I said, damn, man, you look bad familiar. So he goes, yeah, I was in it, man. I'm also directing this. I said, okay. So they give you a paper to read. Sorry, my eyes is burning because, it's summertime and pollen's in the air. You live in New York, you know how the pollen's ridiculous here. I read the part. I could barely see shit. My eyes was watering crazy. I could barely read the part. So I read it. And they was like, okay, we'll get back to you. You know what I mean? Like, whatever.
Right.
So I was like, I ain't get this shit. Right? I ain't get this shit. Yo, a week later, we need you to report here at 8:30 in the morning. I was like, wow.
And you got the part.
Got the bar.
So did you have any part in, because, the reality is that everybody wants to do hip hop films and documentaries, right? And
yeah, but one thing about Seath, man, Seath is a great dude, great director. He also does that. What's that zombie movie that's out now? He directs that too. So one thing about Seath, I said to Seath, I said, yo, bro, when you do this, they're going to critique you because you got to show every part of how it was.
Right.
Otherwise they're going to scream on you. I said, yo, man, you got to show the cars. I said, we was riding around in 98s, Audis, Pathfinders, Beamers, Jeeps. You got to show that.
Right. It's got to be authentic.
You got to show motherfuckers sniffing coke. You got to show all that. That's what it was.
Right.
That's what it was back. You know what I mean? He was like, okay. He showed it. You got to get the girls with the big bamboo earrings. You got to show all of that.
Right. Otherwise, the fashion, everything, lifestyle.
Yeah, so he listened and he did it. He's a good dude, man. He's a great director.
Well, again, I'm glad you were a part of it because, again,
yeah, man. Him and Dan Chalmers pulled me into that.
Yeah, I mean the show is called The Breaks, and it's a depiction of '90s hip hop.
Yeah, they asked me about a couple things. I was like, nah, it went like this. And then go in, he said words. Nah, it went like that. He was like, okay, but they definitely was doing what they had to do. But it was what they had. They did a good job.
Absolutely. So what is Chuck Chillout working on now in 2019?
Yeah, well, I'm on the radio at Power 88 in Vegas every Friday night. And I'm in the process of me and Tip the Models on there. She's also on BLS with me on Saturday night doing an entertainment report. But we in the process of getting some syndication. And then I also want to do late night TV. That's what I really want to do. I'm working on that too. So I'm trying to lock that in.
Got you. Like a late night hip hop talk show?
Yeah. I know 90% of these motherfuckers, so they'll come.
Absolutely. So I know also recently, again, you talked about world tours and tours. I know.
Yeah, and I still DJ and
right.
I know I go out on the road with Public Enemy when they go out sometimes. That's family right there. So.
Yeah, you were on the LL's tour most recently as well.
That Kings of the Mic tour was incredible. It was me, De La Soul, Public Enemy, L Cool J. We did about 25 cities. It was off the chain.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, we had a ball. It was jokes every night. Every
right.
night it was jokes.
Right.
Every night jokes. Every night.
So Chuck, I know, you have this, long-standing legendary radio career. You got classics under your belt. You've worked with, a little bit of everybody. I think you probably broke every artist, that put out music
everyone
in hip hop, right?
Every one of those guys all came to see me. Everyone, yo man, please play my track. Look out, man. I broke them all.
So I got to ask you. I'm going to ask you two questions. Can you give me one legendary radio story from Chuck Chillout's eyes? Something that may have to do with an artist, a label, or just you. Can you just give me one story that people may not know?
Well, there was a couple, but the wildest one was it was Dr. Dre's birthday party. It was some club in the city, and
Dr. Dre from Dr. Dre and Ed Lover, right?
Yeah, because they was on BLS too.
Gotcha.
So they had a birthday party for him. It was a crazy crowd. It was mad people. When I walked in there, that dude PM Dawn was on stage.
Got you, right?
That dude was about 300 or 400 pounds.
Right.
He was up there doing his thing. So next thing you know, I see Karis, one of them bum rush the stage. They took the DJ up, beat his ass up. They pushed the fat nigga off the stage. Chris grabs the mic. Clark Kent's in the booth. And he throws on, I'm still number one. The place went bananas.
Wow. So this is the legendary KRS-One beats up PM Dawn story.
Place was bananas. I was like, yo.
Wow.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
And you were right there. You
I was standing there like, yo. It was about 20 of them. They just pushed the fat dude off the stage. Get the fuck out of here. He went flying. The DJ went flying. Yo, that shit was wild. I was like, yo.
That's one for the history books right there.
Oh yeah, that was pure hip hop at its finest form.
So that's one question. I told you I had two. Now the second one is, can you give us something that you think that the world doesn't know about DJ Chuck Chillout?
Well, I eat, drink, and sleep this music, this culture. I will represent it to the day I die. I love what I do. I'm fortunate to even be doing what I do for a living. I thank God for that. There's a lot of cats that are not still doing it.
Right,
I just want people to know this is what I love to do. I love meeting people. I love traveling. And I love doing this. Hip hop is in my blood. Like I told you, Breakout, my uncle fucked my life up.
Right. DJ Breakout, the legendary Breakout and Baron, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Salute Breakout and Baron. These are founding fathers of hip hop, no question. And Chuck Chillout comes from that cloth, right?
Right, exactly.
So Chuck, how can our listeners follow you?
Or you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat at DJ Chuck Chillout. You can hit my website, djchuckchillout.com, and you can email me directly at chuckchillout1 at gmail.com.
Well, Chuck, I really appreciate you taking the time for me to interview you on Vinyl Esquire, the DJ podcast dedicated to the DJ culture and our legends. You're now listening to the legendary DJ, producer from the Bronx, the icon, DJ Chuck Chillout.
Believe that.
Hello world, I want to welcome you to Vinyl Esquire, the podcast that delivers culture, truth,